Sheboygan man facing federal firearms indictment, one injured in head-on crash, long-term road damage from storms. These stories coming up on June 21st edition of Community News Review.
This is Community News Review, service WSCS TV, news content provided by WHBL.
Good day, I'm Maddie Pfister, and this is Community News Review for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. A Sheboygan man who has been involved in several incidents in recent months and claims he has connections to a militia group that is facing federal charges for possessing a firearm while being in the country illegally. 20-year-old Calvin Glazuntsov of Ukraine was most recently in the news a couple of weeks ago after he was fired from Rockline Industries and was then spotted outside of Rockline employees' entrance, armed and wearing protective gear, according to the police. In April, police have been called when Glazunov was spotted wearing tactical clothing and carrying handcuffs and 6 loaded rifle magazines at Bayshore Downtown Center in Glendale. And a few weeks ago, he attended an open carry march where participants were carrying firearms. If he is convicted on this firearm indictment, he could serve 20 years in prison. One person was seriously injured in a head-on crash on Highway 32 near Gibbsville Wednesday afternoon. The Sheboygan County Sheriff's Department responded to 32 and Hubricks Lane around 2:30, and when they arrived, learned a Milwaukee man driving southbound crossed a center line going around the curve and hit a northbound car head-on. The Milwaukee man, Brian Lundberg, was taken to the Aurora Hospital in Grafton with serious injuries. He also got a ticket for inattentive driving. The Sheboygan County Sheriff's Department has released the identity of the victim of that Sunday afternoon crash on Highway 28. Deputies say 55-year-old Robin Geyser died at the scene after 3:30 p.m. Crash near Abbott Drive in town of Scott. They say that she was a passenger in the SUV that was being driven by her husband when a car, trying to pass another vehicle traveling south, collided head-on with the SUV. Geyser's husband was injured and taken by an ambulance to a hospital, and the 18-year-old Milwaukee woman driving the other vehicle had to be flown to the hospital in Milwaukee. Their conditions are not currently available, and the deputies say the investigation of the accident continues. As floodwaters recede in northwest Wisconsin, state workers are out in force assessing damage and planning rebuilding efforts. Ashland, Bayfield, Burnett, Douglas, and Iron counties all remain in the state of emergency while damage assessments take place. Wisconsin Emergency Management spokesman Andrew Beckett says many of the affected areas are very rural, meaning it's going to take some time to assess what happened. We have a lot of areas where there are roads that are not traveled frequently, so it may take time for someone to even realize that there was damage done to that route. That doesn't mean summer vacations need to go on hold. People should still plan to come north, Beckett says, but just make sure you can get where you want to go. They should make sure that the route is safe and go, but it does take time to make sure that all areas are safe again. Many roads are closed due to flooding, washout, and damage. If you come across a blocked road, please follow the detour. Authorities are asking for help in locating a missing veteran. According to a press release, 70-year-old Michael Bates left the Toma VA Medical Center Community Living Center around 9 a.m. Tuesday morning. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a black and red lightweight jacket, a black and white ball cap, and eyeglasses. He is described as 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing approximately 225 pounds with a full head of salt and pepper colored hair, a beard, and a mustache. A silver and green alert have both been issued by the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Anyone with any information about Bates's location is asked to contact the Tomah Police Department at 608-372-1244. Representative Sean Duffy released a statement today about the separation of families at the U.S.-Mexico border. Duffy said he would support legislation to allow kids to stay with their parents. His statement said, "No one wants to see kids separated from their families, but we must look at how the situation was created. Our border is not secure, and as a result, thousands of people believe that it is a good idea to make the long and dangerous trek to U.S.-Mexican border with their children, or worse yet, send their children by themselves with a coyote. We must once and for all secure our southern border and eliminate the incentives, including the trafficking of children and drugs, for people to enter our country illegally. Since Democrats claim to be supportive of fixing our broken immigration system, I hope they join us in this important work." President Trump is likely to sign an executive order that would end family separations at the border. The House will vote Thursday on a bill that would allow families to stay together while their immigration cases are pending. In his 12th season of weekly Plymouth dirt track racing competition, Tyler Kulo of Plymouth has persevered through the peaks and valleys familiar to all dirt track racers to establish himself as one of the top contenders of nightly basis in the PDTR Grand National Division. Through the first 7 weeks of the 2018 PDTR campaign, Kulo sits second in the Grand National standings, 30 points behind points leader Matt Lohr of Dotyville, as he chases his first ever track title. Raised with dirt track racing as a way of life, the New Holstein native and current Plymouth resident has carried on the Kulo family name quite nicely at the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds 3rd Mile Clay Oval. My goal this season is to win a few races and to race a few tracks that I have never raced before, just to be able to get more experience at different racetracks, he said. Kulo's sponsors include Mayer Motors of Plymouth, Greenbush Trading Post, Source Services LLC of Milwaukee, Lincoln Street Sports Bar and Grill of Elkhart Lake, Dirks Construction LLC of Elkhart Lake, Domino's of Plymouth, Wise Implement of Glenbeulah, Cal and Gus Motors of Elkhart Lake, Boneyard Paintball of Elkhart Lake, and Crazy G Design LLC of Sheboygan Falls. This Saturday, June 23rd, is Miller Pepsi Night at Plymouth Dirt Track Racing with B Mod Driver introduction scheduled. Grandstand gates open at 4:30 p.m. with hot laps at 5:30 p.m. and racing to begin at 6 p.m. Mayer Automotive is the evening trophy sponsor. And that's all we have for today. Join me again next time for another recap of our local news. I'm Maddie Pfister, wishing you to have a great day.
News content for this program provided by WHBL in cooperation with WSCS TV.